Mia Carter wasn't like the other students at West Ridge High. While most of her classmates worried about prom, grades, or social media drama, Mia had a secret weapon, her dog, Shadow. But Shadow wasn't just any dog. He was a border collie with an uncanny intelligence, capable of understanding commands far beyond the usual sit, stay, and roll over. Some might say Shadow was even smarter than some of the teachers at West Ridge. Mia had trained Shadow since he was a puppy, using books, videos, and a lot of patience. She never treated him like an ordinary pet. To her, he was a partner. Together, they'd spent countless hours practicing advanced obedience, learning hand signals, and even solving small puzzles. But she had no idea just how much of a difference Shadow would make in their town until the day everything changed. One crisp autumn morning, Mia was walking Shadow to school when she noticed something strange. A man in a dark hoodie loitered near the elementary school across the street. His posture was tense, and he kept glancing around as if he were looking for something or someone. Mia felt a chill run down her spine. Shadow must have sensed her unease because he let out a low growl, his ears perking up. Mia hesitated for a moment but then remembered what her father, a retired police officer, had always told her: if something feels wrong, trust your instincts. She pulled out her phone and discreetly started recording while pretending to adjust Shadow's collar. The man seemed to notice her watching and quickly walked away, disappearing into the alley behind the school. That night, Mia showed the video to her father. He sent it to his former colleagues at the police department, who identified the man as a known criminal with a record of child abduction attempts. Thanks to Mia and Shadow's vigilance, police increased patrols around the school, potentially preventing a tragedy. News of Mia and Shadow's heroics spread quickly, earning them local recognition. The mayor even invited them to City Hall for an award. But for Mia, the greatest reward was knowing she and Shadow had made a difference. Their next big adventure came a few weeks later. Mia had volunteered to help at the town's annual charity fundraiser, a 10K race benefiting the local animal shelter. As she and Shadow set up water stations along the course, Shadow suddenly started barking wildly. His nose pointed toward a wooded area near the trail, and he began tugging on his leash. Mia trusted Shadow's instincts more than anything. She followed him into the woods, calling out in case someone needed help. After a few minutes of searching, she heard a faint cry. A young boy, no older than 6, sat on the ground with a twisted ankle, his face streaked with tears. "Hey, buddy," Mia said softly, kneeling beside him. "It's okay. We'll get you back to safety." Shadow licked the boy's hand, instantly calming him. Mia used her phone to call the race organizers, who sent medics to help. The boy's parents arrived moments later, overwhelmed with gratitude. He had wandered away from his family, and if it hadn't been for Shadow, who knew how long it would have taken to find him? Mia and Shadow's reputation continued to grow. They became unofficial town heroes, always ready to lend a hand or a paw whenever needed. Whether it was assisting in search and rescue missions, helping train other service dogs, or simply brightening someone's day, the duo was unstoppable. But their biggest challenge came in the form of a fire. Late one night, while studying for a chemistry test, Mia heard Shadow whining by the window. He was never this restless unless something was wrong. She looked outside and gasped. Smoke billowed from her elderly neighbor's house down the street. Without hesitation, Mia grabbed her phone, called 911, and ran out with Shadow. By the time they reached the house, flames had begun to spread. Mia banged on the door, shouting for Mrs. Thompson, but there was no response. Shadow started barking furiously and ran toward the backyard. Mia followed and saw an open window on the first floor. "Go, Shadow," she commanded. With remarkable agility, Shadow leaped through the window and disappeared inside. Mia's heart pounded as she waited, praying he would find Mrs. Thompson. Minutes felt like hours until finally, Shadow reappeared, guiding the elderly woman toward the back door. Mia helped her out just as firefighters arrived, and within moments, they were safe. The fire department commended Mia and Shadow for their bravery, and the local newspaper ran a front-page story about the girl and her hero dog. But for Mia, it wasn't about recognition, it was about doing what was right. Shadow wasn't just a pet, he was her best friend, her protector, and her hero. As Mia walked into school the next morning, classmates who had once overlooked her now greeted her with admiration. Teachers beamed with pride. Even Principal Dawson, known for his strict demeanor, gave her a nod of respect. But all Mia cared about was scratching Shadow behind the ears and whispering, "Good boy, Shadow. We did good." And as they stepped forward, ready for whatever adventure lay ahead, Mia knew one thing for certain: she and Shadow were just getting started.